Hello, this is Julian with Coffee Reviews, and today we will be celebrating yet another milestone as the channel just surpassed the 400 subscriber mark, so we decided to celebrate the best way we know how, drinking an interesting coffee drink and updating you guys on our viewer subscriber recommendation suggestion list. So let's start with the drink that we have on hand, and it is an interesting one. It is called the Bear Mug, a porter brewed with Kuma coffee done by Reuben's Brews. And for anybody that does not know, there are quite a few American coffee roasters that do collaborations with breweries on coffee beers. I know Onyx and Sweet Bloom both have one, and I've been wanting to try those for years, but yeah, let's give this one right here a shot. Yeah, I don't particularly like that. It's a little too bitter for me. I think a lot of people know I'm not necessarily the biggest drinker, but yeah, it's very beer-like. All right, let's start with some good news. So we did receive a suggestion by one of our subscribers to upload our viewer subscriber recommendation suggestion list as a Google Doc, so that way everybody can view it. And we have done so, so feel free to click on the link down below, as we're going to include a link. And that way you can kind of get an idea of what's on our list and where everything is on our list. So you guys know that we'll be getting to that as soon as we can. We'll just reiterate one more time the way that this list works is if we find any of these coffee roasters at a multi-roaster, I'll probably just purchase them to make sure that I can get them knocked off the list. But at the same time, they're kind of ordered from when they were suggested to us, so we're going to try to work our way through it as best we can. And yeah, let me go ahead and pull up that list so we can discuss it in a little further detail, starting with the first one. I don't even need to look at it. It's Archers, which was suggested to us by Dan, and it's been on our list for over a year. But the problem still remains, we just cannot get this coffee in the United States. So hopefully sometime in the near future we'll be able to purchase it. But until then, it will remain at the very top of our list. Next up, we have the Barn. So I should be looking at the exact same list as you guys if you pull up this list as well, as this should be the same link. But the Barn suggested to us by Tim Tam Jimmy, and we did review the Barn pretty recently on this channel. The issue was it wasn't necessarily my first choice of coffees from the Barn. I would like to go back and review something from them, maybe specifically something from their Masterpiece collection, but this is probably on the lower priority of things as we have already reviewed them, but I definitely want to go back and try them again, hopefully soon. That's why they're still on the list. Next we have UE, which was also suggested by Tim Tam Jimmy, and this one's an interesting one because we can get their coffee in the United States. They're one of the few ones that do ship here. However, it just seems like there are quite a few of these subscription services that sell their coffee from time to time. So I'm hoping that one of them will carry UE soon so I can purchase their coffee. There are a lot of places to get UE's coffees, which is going to be different compared to a lot of the other places we have on this list. So Bailey's is one of the big ones I really wanted to discuss because I couldn't get their coffee. They don't ship to the United States, and I did reach out to them personally in the hope that they might be able to direct me towards a source that can get me their coffee. Unfortunately, they just never responded. So yeah, that one's going to remain a mystery. I really want to get Bailey's as soon as possible. Again, probably looking at these subscription services, and that's going to be the case with a lot of these other coffees, Darkwoods and White Star. Again, hopefully one of these subscription services, I'm thinking like the Coffee Vine or the Right Roast, will be carrying these coffees, and if they are, I'm going to jump on that opportunity and purchase them immediately. But that's where all of those remain for right now. All, of course, suggestions by Tim Tam Jimmy. And Square Mile, that's an interesting one. I've actually never thought about, I know that they do ship to the United States, but I guess I've never thought that there isn't anybody around here that carries them. I know that Revolver up in Vancouver, Canada does from time to time, so hopefully I'll be able to swing by and grab something from Square Mile. I feel like Square Mile is actually kind of higher on my own priority in terms of reviewing, but yeah, hopefully that happens soon. All right, let's keep going. Duck Rabbit, which was suggested to us by Greg, and I've looked at them briefly. I don't have too much to say, but that one will be one of the easier ones to get as they are an American coffee roaster. And now we have a couple of fun ones, which is Johannes Bayer and Luschbauer from, how do you say that? Juluman, but yeah, a couple of German coffee roasters here, and I've taken a look at both of their websites, and most notably that Luschbauer, they have a Panamanian coffee that I really have my eye on. So, you know, if they still have that coffee here in the near future, I really want to get that Panama. But yeah, let's keep going. Kelowna, currently we're working on. There should be a review up very shortly for Kelowna. That was suggested to us by both Colin and Sam, Colin Hong, Sam Griffiths. So yeah, that one will be coming up soon. And in addition to that, we have Blend In Coffee Club, which was suggested to us by Ed Tokaji and Stephen Neville. And so yeah, anytime there are two people or more that suggest a coffee to us, they jump pretty high on the list. So I'm hoping to try them soon. I've looked at their website quite a few times, and they have a really nice looking website and some really nice looking coffees on there as well. So yeah, hopefully Well, it should be coming up sooner than later, assuming that we're able to get back to this list. I think what's really been holding me up is that I've really wanted to try these English coffees or these coffees from British Isle coffee roasters, but I just can't get my hands on them, and it's held this list back. Hopefully soon on all of those things. Next we have established coffees, and I put a couple of established coffee. I put a couple of question marks because I don't know who suggested this to us, and I can't find who suggested this to us in the comments anywhere. So yeah, that's left as a question mark. I'm going to take another sip of this drink. I wanted to say it's growing on me, but it's really not. I'll just keep drinking it though. All right. Next we have a couple from... So I put this into the Google Translate. This is in Korean. It's a Korean name, and it translates in English to polar bear. I don't know if that's how you say your name, but I can speak very little Korean. I just can't read Korean in the slightest bit, so I'm gonna call you polar bear. We have Apollon's Gold and a Good Coffee Club, as well as I believe you suggested Momos to us, but we have Ed Tokaji on there as well for Momos. But yeah, Apollon's Gold was actually carried by Dayglow, and I almost pulled the trigger and purchased one of those coffees back when Dayglow was carrying them, so that gives me a little hope that maybe they'll be carrying them in the future here soon as well. But Good Coffee Club and Momo's I actually took a look at, and they had some pretty interesting looking coffees. I've taken a look at every single one of these coffee suggestions. As soon as somebody suggests them to us, I take a look at their website and kind of get an idea of what they offer and stuff. So some interesting looking coffees. Mostra, suggested to us by Chris Bystrek, and yeah, Mostra, another one I took a very brief look at. Seems interesting. And we'll continue on. SK Coffee, suggested to us by Maddie Tees, and I know they're out of Minnesota. I've taken a look at their website. They don't have too many offerings as of right now. I'm hoping that they might have a little bit more variety here in the future. But yeah, another coffee roaster that hopefully, again, pretty soon. Taking a lot of time on this list, but hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Rogue Wave, suggested to us again by Stephen Neville. And they're a very popular coffee roaster, actually. I've seen so many people try their coffee, and I've actually, one of the few coffee roasters I've never tried that's one of the bigger names. So that one's definitely going to make an appearance soon. I really want to do the leaderboard coffee season, because I think that will give me an opportunity to try some coffee roasters. I know that they've featured Rogue Wave in there before, I believe. So it'll give me an opportunity to try some coffee roasters that may be a little bit more difficult for me to get my hands on. Yeah, let's keep going. Nomad, we just released a review of Nomad, and we have another review of Nomad coming up. I don't know if that's going to be the end of our Nomad reviews. I feel like maybe, at the very least, I should try one more Nomad coffee. We'll get into why that is into that review, but let's keep going. Little Waves, suggested to us by Greg, and Think 890, and Little Waves is a coffee roaster I have a lot more familiarity with than I think people give me credit for, as I have actually been out to Raleigh, and I've had a couple of coffees. I've had a couple of cups from that coffee roaster out there, and in addition to that, I did a cupping with some of the people that worked for the business a couple of years ago, so I have quite a bit of familiarity with Little Waves, but people are insistent, Greg specifically, that they're better than I'm giving them credit for, so I'm always open to giving a coffee roaster more of an opportunity, so yeah, that'll be fun. Coptic Light, suggested to us by Zach, and I've taken a look at Coptic Light. Again, don't have too many offerings at this moment, but Zach was really high on their coffee, so I have a lot of optimism for that. Red Rooster, suggested to us by Nico Hanley, and that's kind of a fun one because I've had a lot of people talk to me about Red Rooster and speak really positive things about Red Rooster, and I almost went and purchased their Whoosh Whoosh, but it's been a very interesting kind of run with that Whoosh Whoosh coffee they had, because I want to put some more Whoosh Whoosh content on this channel, but it was a very weird kind of roller coaster hearing different experiences about that Red Rooster Whoosh Whoosh, so I said, okay, maybe we won't make this too urgent at this moment. But Red Rooster, yeah, definitely on this list. Steady State, suggested to us by, man, I'm going to pronounce so many of these names wrong, Sam Kondawal, and yeah, took a very brief look at them. Another coffee roaster that should be kind of interesting coming up. Florin, suggested to us by Greg, and Greg talks a lot about Florin to me, so that will be another one, American coffee roaster, just kind of interesting. Curve, suggested to us by Sam Griffiths. I'll be honest, I don't remember too much about Curve. And then we have Workshop, which we're currently, do we have the review up yet? The review's coming up. It should be one of our next couple of reviews here. But yeah, they were featured recently in our blind taste test rankings video, so we'll have a Workshop review coming here soon. Dragonfly, suggested to us by Ian Mikutel. And Dragonfly is actually kind of funny. I have a extensive amount of familiarity with Dragonfly, as I'm originally from Colorado and they're based out of Boulder. So there was a coffee shop, multi-roaster, that served their coffee as their kind of home coffee. So basically I got a lot of Dragonfly coffees to purchase in the past, to try in the past, and I haven't had anything from them in quite a few years, so it'll be nice to revisit them. A lot of familiarity with that coffee roaster. The Library Specialty Coffee by Ramana Raja, and again, another one I vaguely remembered looking at their website, but yeah, don't know too much about that. Lineage, I've tried quite a few of their coffees in the past, but looking forward to trying them again. They were suggested to us by Moten Yang, hopefully I said that correct. Also suggested Foxtail, and they're a coffee roaster I looked at as soon as I was suggested to us, and another one I have no familiarity with. Rabbit Hole, it's another one of those popular coffee roasters, suggested to us by Think 890, and I've heard of them before. Another coffee roaster I haven't tried, but yeah, one more on the list. And then Assembly, suggested to us by Daniel Wiseman, and they're a coffee roaster I've had a couple of times, but yeah, they've been a personal coffee roaster that I've wanted to try as well, so we'll see how that goes. And then at the very bottom we have the rare offering from Ramana Raja from Hatch. And I've said in the past about that, it's really hard to get your hands on their rare offerings, as they seem to sell out of them really quickly, but it's not at the bottom in the sense that it's not a priority. It's actually a pretty big priority, and I really want to get that done as soon as possible. Again, just a little bit more difficult to get. Some other things I wanted to add was ModCup reached out to us personally, and they want us to give them another shot, which is more than fine and fair. So hopefully I will get an opportunity to purchase something from ModCup here in the future. And there's one more thing that I'm missing, Drip Dash. So Drip Dash, which is a cold brew company based out of the Bay Area, had also reached out to us and has been wanting us to review their cold brew product, and that one's been a little tricky. I really want to try that here, hopefully in the near future, maybe put it in some sort of blind taste test. But yeah, obviously, as you can see, there's quite an extensive list, quite a few things we have to get through, and so many ideas. I have just a ridiculous amount of ideas that I want to get through, so we'll work through it the best we can. All right, let's kind of give you guys a final rundown of this drink, which I've been sipping on throughout this video. I think it just kind of remains the same, that I'm not a big beer drinker, and you can include a coffee roaster that I like. I mean, I like Kuma into the beer, and it won't change the fact that I'm just not a big beer person to begin with. All right, let me give everybody a thank you. Thank you to everybody that's contributed to this channel in any capacity, anybody that subscribed, liked any of the videos, commented. It means a lot. 400 subscribers is always kind of a crazy number when I really wrap my head around the fact that there are at least 400 people that at one point said, hey, it's worth listening to this guy ramble about coffee, because if anybody ever talks to my friends and family, then they know that all I do my entire life is ramble about coffee. So it's great to have some people that want to join me and listen to me ramble about coffee. So I can't express enough how much I appreciate it from each and every one of you. And hopefully, in the best way I can give back to you guys is by talking about your coffees. And that's why I have this list, and I'm happy to do this list and do my best with getting to this list whenever I can. This video is probably a lot longer than it should be, so I'll end it at this. One more thank you to everybody for everything, and again, if you guys, as I always say, enjoy the content, give this video a like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. But this right here has been a update as well as a thank you for 400 subscribers. Crazy. Thank you all for watching.